so I can put it up later. Okay, if you don't have your cameras on, if you could please turn them on, if you can. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna move this to the side here. Yes, if you do extra I-readies, it will bring up your grade. Okay, so I got that question also. And it'll go onto your midterm also. Okay. All right, so add, subtract, like terms, page 20. And just in case it does something weird on here, I'm gonna do this. Okay, so first thing, a few pieces of notes I want you to write down. First thing is if you have a minus, a negative. Okay, a minus, a negative. This is the same as plus. Okay, I think you've heard me say this before. If you have a plus, a negative, this is the same as a single minus. Okay. And then the last thing I want you to write down is this. X and x squared, okay, are not like terms. Okay. All right, so as you guys write that down, you might hear some background noise from my end. Hopefully that doesn't bother you too much. My son is on his Zoom for his first grade class. My wife is also on Zoom for her work. So all of us are on Zoom. So you might hear some background noise. Okay. And I'm going to highlight the word here, not. Okay. Okay, so x and x squared are not like terms. Okay, so here's the first example that you'll see. Okay, so you might see something like this from my Excel, 5x plus negative 9x. Okay, so 5x plus negative 9x. All right, first thing you see is the plus negative, right? Plus negative, same thing as a minus. So I'm going to rewrite that here. This is 5x minus 9x. Okay, it might just might help you visually, not seeing so many signs. Okay, so this is, they both have x's. Okay, so the 5 and the 9 both have x's. So we can subtract these. We can do 5 minus 9. Okay, again, not 9 minus 5, but 5 minus 9. And 5 minus 9 is going to be a negative 4x. And that's what you type into iExcel, negative 4x. Okay. All right, number 2, let's type this in, or let's write this down. 8x squared plus negative 3x squared minus x squared. Okay, so that's what it would look like in iExcel. Okay. All right, couple things to point out here. First is plus negative. That's going to change to a single minus. And in front of this x squared, okay, in front of that x squared, there's a 1. That's not written. Okay, so I'm going to rewrite this then as 8x squared. All right, plus negative, same as a minus. So 8x squared minus 3x squared. And then minus 1x squared. Okay. All right, so now all of these have x squareds on them. They all have the same term. Okay, they're all the same. They're all like terms. Okay, they all have x squared. So I'm going to combine all of them. 8 minus 3 minus 1. Okay, so 8 minus 3 is 5, and then 5 minus 1 is 4. So you're going to put in a 4, and the x squared will stay the same. 4x squared. Okay, you don't subtract the squares, you don't add them, it just stays x squared. Okay, the coefficient is the only thing that you add or subtract. 8 minus 3 minus 1 is 4. Okay, 4x squared. Okay. All right, so for number 3, I have this 7v plus 6 minus 12v. Okay, so that's a problem you'll see in IXL. All right, so what you see here, V's. See that 7? That's a positive 7. I'm going to underline that. To the left of the 7, there's no sign. Okay, that means it's a positive 7. That 6, to the left of it, there's a plus. That plus goes with that 6. Okay, it's either a plus 6 or a positive 6, depending on how you're using it. Okay, so for the V's that we're going to combine, we combine the 7V and the 12V, right? So I got 7V minus 12V. That plus goes with the 6. That minus goes with the 12. Okay, so I have 7V minus 12V. So 7 minus 12 is going to give me a negative 5. And that gets a V with it. Okay, 7 minus 12, negative 5. Stick a V on it. And then the 6 that doesn't have a V on it, I'm just going to bring it down. And it's a positive 6. So I'm going to bring down plus 6. And that's what I would type into IXL as my answer. Okay. Just want to make sure. Okay. All right, number 4. Let's do another one. So I have this. Number 4, I have 10y minus 5y squared minus negative 9y. Okay. Okay, so looks like I have a double sign here, a minus and negative. So I'm going to rewrite this, okay? So I have a 10y minus 5y squared, and then this minus and negative is going to change to a plus 9y. Okay, minus and negative, again, same thing as a plus. All right, so for these,
Lacey's computer just died, so that's why she's not on here.
Okay, thanks for letting me know, Haley. When if she's able to get back in the waiting room, I will let her in. Thank you. Okay, so I have y's, right? The y squared isn't the same thing as a y, okay? So I have a positive 10y plus 9y. Okay, so I have a 10 plus 9. That minus goes with the 5y squared, so that doesn't affect the y's. Okay, so 10 plus 9 gives me 19. So I have a 19y. And then this 5y squared, there's no other 5y squared, so I'm going to bring it down. Minus 5y squared. Okay, so that's what I would type into IXL. The order doesn't matter. You could also put in negative 5y squared plus 19y. Okay, so the order doesn't matter. Okay, all right, so I have 3 more for you. The first one you'll definitely see, and it always trips students up. So let me write down this one, number 5. So number 5, I have 5 plus 4x squared minus x. Okay. And in front of that minus x, right, there is a minus 1x. Okay, so there's a 1 in front of that x. If you notice on this one, this 5 has no x. This 4 has an x squared. This 1 has an x. They don't have any, none of them have anything that's the same. Okay? The 5 doesn't have anything. The 4 has an x squared. The 1 has an x. So there's no like terms. Okay, there's no like terms. So what IXL wants you to do is just type it back as you see it. No like terms, so we're going to just put in 5 plus 4x squared minus x. No like terms. So you're just going to type it in as you see it. Can't do anything with it. Okay. All right, number 6. You have this, negative 7 minus 5y squared plus 7y minus y squared. Okay. All right, so just keep in mind in front of this y squared, there is a 1. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and write it over. Negative 7 minus 5y squared plus 7y minus 1y squared. All right, we're going to combine like terms. First thing that I want to point out to you are the y squareds. Those are like terms. Okay, so it's a negative 5y squared. To the left of that 5y squared is a minus, so that's a negative 5y squared minus 1y squared. Okay, so they're your y squareds. I underlined them. Okay, so negative 5 minus 1. If you're unsure about your integers, use your calculator. Okay, negative 5 minus 1. Negative 5 minus 1 gives you a negative 6, and you're going to put a y squared with it. Now look at the last two numbers that are on here. Negative 7 and 7y. Those are not like terms. Okay, this negative 7 doesn't have anything with it. This positive 7 has a y with it. So these, no like terms here. So these two we're just going to bring down. So that's a negative 7. We're going to put down minus 7. Plus 7y, so we'll bring down plus 7y. Those two just come down and are added on to your answer. Okay, because they don't have any like terms. Okay, one last one that we'll do together, and because IXL is going to give you a long one, maybe a couple. Okay, so we're going to do one long one together. All right, so a long one here, 5y plus negative 4y minus a negative 6 plus a negative 10y squared plus 4 plus 4y squared. Okay, so let's go ahead and put that in. This is the problem. It will give you at least one long one like this, so we'll do one long one together. Okay. All right, first thing are some double signs. Okay, so let's go back to the top of our notes here. So the double signs, minus a negative, same as a plus, plus negative, same as a minus. So let's rewrite some of this stuff here. So I'm going to rewrite this double sign. I'm going to rewrite this one and this one. Several double signs. Okay, so I have a 5y minus 4y minus a negative. So I'm going to put plus 6 plus a negative, so I'm going to put minus 10y squared plus 4 plus 4y squared. Okay. All right, now let's look for some like terms here. I see some y squareds. That is a negative 10y squared. To the left of it, there's a minus, so it's a negative. Plus 4y squared. Okay. Negative 10 plus 4, that gives you a negative 6. Okay. And then I see some y's right here. I'm going to do a squiggly line under those. Positive 5y minus 4y. Okay, those are like terms. So it's a 5 minus 4. 5 minus 4 is a positive 1. Okay. Since 5 minus 4 is a positive 1, I'm going to put plus 1y. Okay. And then the last thing is the constants that don't have any letters with them. Okay. So I'll do a V underneath those. Positive 6 plus 4. Those are like terms. Okay. So the 6 plus 4 is 10. So I'll put down plus 10. Okay, and that's what I will put into IXL. Okay. All right, let me stop recording here.